friends of my family and families of my friends. Good evening, a very warm welcome. Before I begin, I discovered that many people here are a little amused about my t-shirt, but then that's me, often wrong, but impossible to ignore. So in welcoming you today, I thought I would share a few thoughts with you about my three passions. And when I say three passions, most people seem to think that they might be scooters and motorcycles and three-wheelers, but they are not. My three personal passions are dogs, homeopathy, and yoga. I was fortunate to be a student of Yogacharya Guruji, B.K.S. Iyengar in Pune. And Guruji once said to me, in yoga as in life, there is pain only if the direction of your movement is flawed. When he said to me something like that in August 2012, my mind went back to 1993. I had been working at Bajaj for 3 years by then, having joined in 1990. And one afternoon, with no particular direction in sight, I asked my father what it was that he would like me to be doing at Bajaj. And he said to me, my father said to me, do what you think best, but be the best in what you do. The engineer in me was a little perplexed at this management gyan from Harvard Business School. So I probed a little further. What does it mean to be the best? I remember he said then, this is 23 years ago, we aren't able to export anything. Everything that we make is sold in this market. If we were to export at least 10% of what we make, I'd say that we are world class, we are one of the best. Now my objective was clear, but I wondered, where do I begin? Yet again, friends, my father showed me the way. A few months later, at our AGM, in response to a shareholder comment, he retorted, I have 10,000 people in all of Bajaj, but Honda has 10,000 people in R&D alone. I was 27 then. For me, friends, it was a career-defining moment. In contemplating the image of this 500-pound Honda gorilla, my favorite marketing mantra dawned upon me. When in trouble, narrow your focus. That's the day that we decided as a company that in order to focus every man, every rupee, every minute on creating high-tech motorcycles for the world, Bajaj would have to exit all the cheap two-wheelers that it was making up until then for the domestic market. In doing so, I think that we were unwittingly acknowledging the wisdom of the donkey Dumbledore, who said, more than our abilities, it is the choices that we make that determine what we become in our lives. It was a path that eventually led to the launch of the first Bajaj motorcycle, the Pulsar, in November 2001, less than 25 years ago. And simultaneously to the hitherto unimaginable cessation of all scooter manufacturing by 2005, including that of the Chetak that my father unfairly referred to as his favorite son. So, while as a global motorcycle maker, Bajaj is less than 25 years old. I think all of you here will be very proud to know that since 2021, we are by market cap, by far, the world's most valuable two-wheeler maker ever. And it all began with a laser choice honed by my father's astute direction. Friends, as we firmly established our R&D over the 90s, rapidly developing our own technology at a time when the norm was to license it from one multinational or the other. I remember I was about 30 then, and the youthful 30-year-old Rajkumar in me would say to people, हमको रोक सके ज़माने में दम कहाँ, हमसे होगी टेक्नोलॉजी, टेक्नोलॉजी से हम नहीं. And that's how we started developing our own technology. Armed with our second-to-none technology, Bajaj is now the world's third largest motorcycle maker. It is the world's biggest three-wheeler maker. It is India's #1 electric vehicle maker by revenue, Piyush Bhai. We are India's #1 electric vehicle maker by revenue. And we proudly export half of all that we make to 108 countries across continents with a dominant top 2 position in most. I believe this is why India's Hamara Bajaj, that in the process of exporting almost 35 million, that is 350 lakh 2 and 3 wheelers, has generated innumerable jobs and invaluable foreign exchange, and is beyond her borders proud to wear the tag of the world's favorite Indian. Sorry, Amir, that's not you. That's not even Shahrukh. That's not even Mahi. And in terms of being the world's favorite Indian, that's not even Modi ji. Iska IP mere paas hai. I think, friends, this feat is a resounding endorsement of what is rather underestimated and even less acknowledged. Something that I have witnessed repeatedly, confirmation of over multiple conversations with European suppliers ever since our recent acquisition of KTM motorcycles. And it is this: when it comes to manufacturing value-added engineering products, India's competitiveness outshines China's, outperforms Vietnam's, and outruns Thailand's. And the credit for that, in my view, goes less to the Indian politician or the Indian business person, and more to the sheer scale of the Indian market and the sterling skills of Indian engineers. So as one of millions of such Indian engineers, now I am not so youthful, I am 60. So the not so youthful 60-year-old in me now tells my team, हमको रोक सके ज़माने में टैरिफ नहीं, भारत को क्यों किसी का डर, जब हमसे है वो आत्मनिर्भर. Friends, beneath the veneer of pride in my country and its people and beyond Bajaj Auto, these 25 years have told me a deeper story about the ethos of the Bajaj Group that I feel appropriate to share with all of you today on the occasion of this 100-year milestone. And that is the sublime realization that the true reward for man's toil is not what he gets for it, but what he becomes by it. This 25-year-old journey of taking India to the world on a Bajaj, that started as being an exercise in business, has rapidly become an experience in oneness. Because slowly but surely, as one motorcycle after another wove its way from one market to another, we realized that it is less we who were venturing out and more the world that was welcoming us. Remember the words of Rumi, "You do not sow, the earth receives." The world accepted us not just basis objective meritocracy, but at the very root of the root, I believe, basis pure humanity. Nowhere have I witnessed that sentiment to be better translated into reality than in the care that, supported by our CSR, my wife Deepa, Kavita, Dhanashri, Lolita, offer tens of thousands of dogs. They exemplify the compassionate wisdom of Ramana, who, in response to being asked, "How should we treat others?" said, "There are no others." But more on that from Neerav shortly. In closing, friends, I'd like to leave you with this distillation from our global ride. We had set out to conquer the world, but find that we have actually ended up surrendering to the universe. 25 years of learning at the University of the Universe has taught us, more than anything else, that we do not do. It is done through us. We are but grateful tools at the disposal of fortunate circumstances. I cannot help but feel a deep sense of satisfaction that in so wandering around the world, we have helped my father walk his talk of being the best in whatever one chooses to do. In the words of Jamnalalji Katni Karni Eksi. Of course, having set this fine example myself, I am now hoping that Rishabh will similarly help me to walk my talk. But that is a story for another day. To capture the spirit of our story, we looked for a storyteller with soul. And thanks to my ever-resourceful friend Saurabh Verma, who is somewhere here today, we finally found an exemplary one. Hamara Bajaj ka Hamara Raju. Raju bhai is not here, but I would like to say to him, it is said that when love and skill combine, expect a masterpiece. My family and I, Saurabh, please tell Raju I said this. My family and I are indebted to him for his masterful labor of love and skill for us. Friends, I am now proud to share Raju Hirani's masterpiece for us with all of you. A few days ago, my instant reaction after I saw it for the first time was, "You just can't beat a Raju," just as 40 years ago my father proclaimed, "You just can't beat a Bajaj." This film represents the debut performance of all of its stars from the Bajaj family. तो थोड़ा मतलब एक्सपेक्टेशन कम रखिए, थोड़ा दिल खोल के ताली बजाइए, थोड़ा मुंह खोल के सीटी बजाइए. Thank you once again, everyone, for your presence today. Thank you.